Welcome back. We are here with our fourth project in this series about learning Fusion 360, and this one's obviously called Snap Gauge, and we'll be drawing this in millimeters, steel, all that good stuff. And now's a good time again to maybe take a second and think about how you would go about drawing this. So for me, I feel like it's less important where our origin is with this one. I'll probably naturally put this circle on there and go from there. Actually, I won't do that. I'm going to start my origin in this bottom right corner and draw up from there. And so what it's saying is that with this main, if you want to think about this as a rectangle part, to this center point, the top edge, this is all in line with each other. That's 60 millimeters and 130. So I'm going to start with a rectangle that's 60 by 130. And we're going to draw this. This is the front view, so it gives me the most information in the front. And then we'll start adding things from there. And so over to Fusion we go. I'm going to open up my folder that has all these in there for me. I'm going to turn my origin on. I'm going to right click here. And I'm going to create a sketch in this front view. And I need to immediately, I'm noticing I'm in inches. I want to change that to millimeters very quickly. Okay, I'm going to do a corner rectangle, and I'm going to start here. And we are, let's check this again, 130 by 60. 130, I'm going to hit Tab, 60, now I got where I want it, and Enter. And now we're kind of starting here. And then we've got this kind of overall curve up here first. And so that's a radius of 40. And so from here to here, we have 40. And so how are we going to do that? I'm going to grab my circle. I'm just going to draw it anywhere on this line. Be careful not to draw it on the midpoint, because then you're going to be stuck there. I'm just going to draw it there, and I'm going to say, okay, I know I want this diameter to be 2 times 40 is 80, so I want my diameter to be 80. Right, and then what we want to do is, let's see how locked in we are. What can I move? It just moves along that line. And basically what we want to say is that we want this to be right here. And I don't know for sure if... Yeah, that worked. So using the coincident, let's do that again slower. If I use the coincident constraint, and I click on this circle, the outside of it, right? And I say I want you to be on this point. Click that, and it moves it over exactly where we need to be. And now here's a new tool called our Trim tool. We're going to trim the bottom half of that circle out of there because we don't need it. All right, just gets confusing. And now let's go back and look, and now we have on that same center point, we have a 45 diameter circle on the interior. And so we get our circle tool back, and this time we're going to go 45 and Enter. And now we've got that. I kind of like to move those out of the way so that we don't get confused. All right. And now the next thing we need to add is kind of this rectangle here. And I know that it goes 40 millimeters in, and it's 15 millimeters kind of tall, if you will. And then we'll figure out a location from there. So let's go back to the 2-point rectangle. Somewhere on here, not the midpoint, then you're going to be in trouble. All right, so I know I got it on that line. I'm going to drag it in, and that said 40. Tab, and I think it said 15 for the other one. And I'm going to hit Enter. So that's 40 by 15. And if I hit Escape on my keyboard and then I go to test this, it can slide up and down. So I know I need more dimensions. It's not fully defined yet. And I think this is the one we need. So from this bottom edge to the overall bottom of this part is 25. And so then if I hit D on my keyboard for the dimension tool, whoops. If I hit D on my keyboard for the dimension tool from here to the bottom, that we know we want at 25. And so now everything is black how we want it to be. And I'm kind of moving my dimensions there a little bit. That is how we want this. And the only other features we're missing are these chamfers right here. Okay. And then this fillet radius here, and this fillet radius here. Okay. And so for now though, what I'm going to do is make this a solid before I do those. And it's going to get extruded 50 millimeters. So let's go back here, finish our sketch, go to the home view, hit E for extrude, and I want to select this surface and this kind of top of the arc here, and then we're going to go 50 millimeters and hit OK. And so now we've kind of got this started, and let's do our fillets first. So these little fillet radiuses here say radius of 10, and it doesn't give us this one, so then we're to assume that it's the same as this. So they're both a radius of 10. And so once it's a solid and we're in our solid tools, I can go up here to this fillet, and I want to select that corner, and then I'm holding shift on my keyboard, pushing in on my scroll wheel, orbiting around. I also want to select that, and then we want a 10 millimeter fillet, so I can just type 10 on my keyboard, hit OK, and now those are done. And now from this view, we've also got to add these little chamfers right here. And here's some details on that chamfer. It's 45 degrees, and then it's 5 millimeters in from each edge. And so we can actually do that here as well. So we're going to hit Modify, and instead of the fillet, which we already used, we're going to do the chamfer. And then we're going to select this edge and this edge, and we know we need it to be 5 in and equidistant. So that's where we could then also say, there's some different options, 2 distances, distance and an angle, all that kind of stuff. We're going to go equidistant. That's what 45 degrees is. And then we'll just hit OK. And that right there is our snap gauge. Now let's go back and check. So we're in millimeters. We need it to be steel. And it might automatically be steel already. So let's right click and look at properties. And it automatically defaults to steel. That's not something that I knew. And let's get it the same angle they had it. So let's also give ourselves a home view like that. We'll click off of it. I like to turn my origin off so that it's not in my picture. And then this right here is what you would take your screenshot of, and I'm not going to do that. You guys have done enough of that. So you don't need my help with it. You still have to do it, but you don't need me to guide you through it. So use your snipping tool, get the whole entire screen. I have to be able to see the properties in this part that you drew. Don't give me a view like this, right, where I can't see things. I need to be able to see that you did the chamfer, circles, fillets, all that kind of stuff. And then turn that in. All right, thank you.